We have women living here with us in our long-term housing programs who will be here for the rest of their lives. We are their family, we are their home, and that's fine. But the ones who are able to can graduate out of here and live in the community, stable, giving back, working, all well and good.
It was called the YWCA, and its 125-year history is very much the story of American progress and social change, one that continues to this day. The first YWCA was founded in London in 1855. It addressed the needs of single women arriving from rural areas to join the industrial workforce in London by offering housing, education, and support. By 1858, branches had opened in America. In 1892, a local physician, Dr. Alice Mills, championed the opening of a YWCA in Broome County. The area offered abundant jobs in mills, department stores, and cigar-making factories, and many young women were arriving unprepared for the big city life of Binghamton, New York. Dr. Mills became the first president of the board, shortly followed by Mrs. Elizabeth Weeks Dickinson. The two women are credited for the local YW's early success. Meetings were first held at local churches, but they quickly ran out of room. So the YW began a series of moves in search of a larger space to serve its clients. It began on the Strong Block at the corners of Washington and Henry Streets, then to the Herald Building at State and Henry, then to Lewis Street, which quickly required an addition. Until 1908, when the YWCA landed here at the Fowler Hotel at Hawley and Exchange Streets in downtown Binghamton. That footprint would become the permanent home for the YWCA to this day. The building provided a safe space that offered residential units, a cafeteria, offices, and meeting rooms in one single location. From here, the YWCA provided a solid base to practice its core mission of fighting oppression towards women. Local community members and businesses were eager to provide necessary help. Donations from Fowler's department store provided books for classes, and even prominent businessman Willis Sharp Kilmer, yes, he of Swamp Root fame, came to the aid of the YW. Mr. Kilmer provided $50,000 to create and equip the YWCA's gymnasium. From its very first days, the YWCA taught young women the elements believed to provide a better life. It taught reading, music, the Bible, French, and typewriting. It even offered a summer camp. In the early 1900s, the YW adopted the Travelers Aid Society. This support system was created to assist and protect travelers moving into cities across the country or arriving to America by ship. It was believed that the greatest threat to female travelers was white slave trafficking, and so agents of Travelers Aid patrolled Grand Central Terminal, Pennsylvania Station, and New York City's piers, looking for women who appeared to be vulnerable. Services usually entailed safely escorting women, immigrant and native-born alike, to city addresses, other transportation lines, or to a temporary lodging like the YWCA. Sometimes these young women were merely seeking work. Sometimes they were fleeing abuse. Sometimes they were seeking to start a new life anonymously. Today, the YWCA continues to reach out to find women in need.
I get the women out on the street firsthand, so I'm the one who will call our shelter or call, if we're full, I will call a different shelter and say, can we get her in, and then I'll show her how to go to social services and what she needs, and I will even give someone a rent guarantee and say, here, go and then get a police clearance, and then I call the Y and I say, I got a girl coming over and she's homeless and she needs some place to stay. A lot of times they don't get there. They just go and do what they want. But my biggest goal is to find success in some of them, and I have. In 17 years I have found there are success stories. There are many success stories. There are women who come back and thank us after, I've been there long enough to see some of these women come back and thank us for all the help that we gave them.
Over the years, hundreds of young women have found their way to the YWCA. In 1940, the Travelers Aid Society combined with other organizations. Today, it is known as the USO. As the needs of our culture and our local community have evolved over time, so have the services offered by the Binghamton YWCA. Today, our mission is one that includes eliminating racism, empowering women, and standing up for social justice. Thanks to a remarkable staff, we help an average of 5,000 women and their children every year.
Depending on what program you're in, they help you with learning how to live on your own. And they provide food, clothing, whatever you need when you first coming into the shelter. And they offer resources for the community once you leave.
4 primary programs are part of our mission today. We provide supportive housing, including emergency housing, for homeless women and their dependent children. Our Young Wonders Early Childhood Center provides children with a safe, loving, and educational environment. Children learn through play and exploration under the guidance of experienced educators who understand the first 5 years are the most important years. Our Perfectly Suited program assists women with appropriate clothing for use in the workplace. And we're very proud of Encore Plus. The YW began with a focus on women's health issues. In the mid-1970s, we established Encore, a program for post-mastectomy patients. Today, it's called Encore Plus, and not only does it serve YWCA clients, it works beyond our walls into the community to provide breast and cervical cancer outreach, education, and advocacy for all women. Today's YWCA has come a long way. As we've traveled, we've made a difference.
One of the things I'm especially proud of is that we are one of the agencies in this community that's working to help women with opioid addictions, which is, I guess, a prevalent issue in the southern tier. And so we're kind of stepping out on faith and doing some unique things there.
Now, as we pause for our 125th anniversary, we celebrate the women and families we've been able to help and the community leaders, past and present, who have shaped today's YWCA of Binghamton and Broome County. Our mission may have changed a bit over the years, but at its core remains our belief that we are all made better when we help one another. We are so grateful that we continue to do so.